The Mason Minute with Kevin Mason.
I was horsing around with my nephew Will, who's 6. We were just goofing around, and I wet my finger and stuck it in his ear. It's called a wet willy. And I gave him one, and he looked at me and he goes, "Hey, don't give me a wet willy." And I laughed, and I wondered, where does a 6-year-old learn the term wet willy? Why is it called a wet willy? And why do we do that silly thing in the first place? Well, we do it to annoy them. It's like when you reach around somebody's shoulder and you tap them. If you're on their left side, you tap them on the right shoulder and hope to get them to look over to somebody else. We play that game all the time, too. It's just the goofy things we do. When you're as old as I am and as young as he is, we don't exactly have a lot in common, I guess you'd say. But it's more importantly just the silly things you do as a kid. And I wonder where we learn those things. How long have I been giving people wet willies? When did I get my first wet willy? Why do I do it to this day? It's not like I would walk up to an adult and do the same thing. But when you're 6 years old and you're learning all those things, who knows where you learn them? He knew what a wet willy was and then tried to give me one for about a half an hour. Of course, luckily I'm much taller than him. I just stood up. He couldn't reach my ears.